It would have been easy to write off Derek Paravacini as a hopeless case. He was born with the cards stacked against him: blind, severely brain damaged, and profoundly autistic. But behind Derek's limitations lay a secret gift. He was blessed with one of the greatest musical minds of his generation. Derek is a classic study of disability and genius, all bundled up in the one extraordinary package. Meet him and be amazed. The human brain really does work in mysterious ways. On stage, Derek Paravacini is a highly accomplished pianist and entertainer. Watching him perform, you wouldn't think he's so severely disabled. Hi, Derek. How are you?
Hi, Liam. Very well, thanks, Liam.
But when the lights go out and we sit down for a chat, Derek's limitations come as quite a shock. Which one is your right hand? And your left hand? And Derek, what finger's this? This one?
Is that the little finger, isn't it?
This is a man who can't dress or feed himself. Yet he can play any song he's ever heard brilliantly. Derek is an autistic savant. He combines genius with blindness and severe mental disability. Why do you think you are so good?
Because I am so good at music. Liam, I'm very good at music.
What really makes you happy, Derek, when you're playing?
Is it the clapping? Does that make me happy when I'm playing, Liam?
Is it? An audience?
An audience, yeah.
Derek comes from a distinguished British family. His great-grandfather was author Somerset Maugham, and his auntie is Camilla Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Cornwall.
He's been a surprise all the way through. We didn't know when he was born that he was even blind.
Nick Paravacini says his son set a hospital record for the smallest preemie baby to survive. He was just over 700 grams. How premature was he?
He was 26 weeks, which is very young. And he had a twin sister, of course, who didn't make it, who died. Basically what had happened was he'd had too much oxygen to keep him alive in old-fashioned incubators which were hand-operated. And I think the technical phrase is retrolental hydroplasia, which wiped out his retina and part of his brain.
As a toddler, Derek astounded his family by mimicking songs and bashing them out on a toy keyboard. So they went looking for a piano teacher and found Adam Ockleford at a school for the blind.
He was everywhere, his hands were everywhere, and his hands reached over and grabbed at the piano and started playing all these cascades of notes. And I thought, he's just mad, to be honest. But then I suddenly realised in the middle of all this noise and karate chops and chaos, there was Don't Cry For Me Argentina. He was clearly knew what he was up to. I mean, he taught himself completely.
Note clusters.
Adam's taught Derek for 26 years now.
Bit of a jazz chord, 7 notes.
He showed us how Derek can transform a simple tune
Hey, now listen, if I play you Twinkle Twinkle,
into a masterpiece.
do you reckon you could harmonise it in the style of Bach?
Harmonise it in the style of Bach.
Derek's turn.
Somehow, his brain is wired to remember tens of thousands of songs, and he can adapt them any way you
Last
like.
one. Yeah, what about Miles Davis then?
Yeah, Miles Davis.
Beautiful chord. Chords, yeah.
People call Derek the human iPod, but I would say, well, no, he's not. He's so much more than an iPod. If he could just recreate what he heard, he'd be quite boring, actually, because we've got recording equipment for that. What makes Derek really special is that creativity chip, I call it.
Dave Brubeck.
So he can take different tunes and mix them up. He can take different styles, he can take different keys, and they all blend together. And every performance is unique and every performance is different.
It needs the patience of a saint to bring out the innate talent in autistic children. Today, Adam's teaching a 9-year-old called Romy, who's much like Derek was 20 years ago.
That's lovely rooms.
Well, the first challenge with Derek was letting me touch his piano, because from the age of 2 it had been his piano and no one else was allowed to touch it.
Derek, just wait a minute.
As with Romy today, if you trespassed on his property, you got a flick, or worse.
Almost every day for 10 years, Adam calmed Derek down and taught him technique, how to get his fingers over the right notes at the right time.
And for me, the big moment came when he was 10. And he played at the Barbican Halls in London with a big orchestra. When the orchestra started and he started weaving in and out of it, I mean, his face just cracked into this huge smile. And then when the audience applauded at the end, he literally jumped up and just was trembling with excitement. And I thought, well, he's got it, hasn't he? He's got that performing instinct, that performing gene, and it's just amazing. And from then on, that's what he's wanted to do. Whenever you ask him, can I play the piano? Can I go to America? Can I go to Australia? Play the piano. That's all he wants to do.
It's a beautiful spot here. A bit chilly though. It's a lot warmer in Australia, Derek.
I'd love to go.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon I'd love to hear you at the Opera House.
I'd love to play at the Opera House.
It'd be good, wouldn't it? What would you play at the Opera House?
Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, brilliant.
Today, Derek's come to historic Straka House, where the Polish composer Chopin came to play in the 19th century. The same French-made piano remains in the same room today. Derek can't comprehend who Chopin was, but he can play every note of his concerto.
Most people, when they're learning a piece, have a sheet of music and they play it a few times and get it wrong and get it right. Derek doesn't need to do that. He can listen to a CD in the car or on an iPod. A year later, you can say to Derek, do you remember whatever it's called? And just come out with it, never having practiced it. I've heard him playing pieces in public, pieces that he's never, ever played before, but he can play them fantastically.
We were told that he could get to a certain level and then there would be a plateau, and he wouldn't get beyond that plateau. But he goes on and he goes on and on.
John Brown's
And one of the things he loves doing, Derek, he loves playing for other vulnerable people, old people in old people's homes, for example. Derek has done nothing but good ever since he's been on this earth.
Psychologists think that music is one of the first things to develop in the brain, and it's one of the last things to go. And so very often with people who have perhaps lost a lot of their faculties, music can still be an enormously powerful way of getting through. I mean, you see people who have a sort of mask, they're not emotional, and then suddenly you see sort of tears, and it's just absolutely amazing. Or you see someone in a wheelchair who doesn't seem to move and their fingers start tapping. And it's just that, and you know that they're connecting with Derek.
You're right. Now, audiences everywhere are connecting with Derek. Today, we're travelling from London to Scotland for a major concert at Edinburgh University.
Can I play my favourite tune for you tonight, Liam?
Yeah, what's that?
Somewhere over the rainbow, doo-doo, high.
At concerts, Derek does what most musicians
Would you like to
wouldn't
have another
dare
tune?
without a rehearsal.
A person over there, would you like a tune? Yes.
He takes random requests.
Does Derek know any Lady Gaga? Paparazzi, maybe? No.
Do you know Bohemian Rhapsody?
Raspberry Beret.
Something by Isaac Shepard?
Another request.
He
Would you
asks
like
someone to
another one?
select a song,
Lady, would you like another request, please, lady?
Stevie Wonder, You Are My Sunshine?
and then someone else suggests a key to play it in.
D flat.
Sunshine of My Life?
In D flat.
In D flat.
Derek's come a long, long way in 28 years at the keyboard, always with Adam Ockleford by his side. And as he continues to improve, Adam's come to realise Derek's problems at birth were more a gift than a handicap.
It makes you wonder what he can't do.
It's so important never to say never. You know, who knows? Who knows what's possible? You can't educate Derek, I was told when I started. He cannot learn. You cannot teach someone like Derek. That's what they told
you?
That's what they told him.
Well, you certainly proved that wrong.
Well, it's just nonsense, isn't it? It's clearly nonsense.
All right, Adam. All right, yes. Fantastic. Yeah.
Coming up,
Congratulations. Thank you.
the wonderful proof
I'm so lucky.
Australia's history-making womb transplant
It's just mind-blowing. I gave my uterus to Kirsty.
was a success.
Now Mum's going to tear up.
That's next on 60 Minutes.